Mauricio Umansky and Kyle Richards, two names that have been linked together for nearly 3 decades, have become one of Bravo's most watched love stories. From the glossy Beverly Hills parties to the raw, emotional moments caught on camera, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills stars have shown the world a marriage that's weathered fame, family, and the occasional tabloid storm. But behind the show, behind the confessional interviews and sparkling diamonds, is a couple that still manages to laugh, tease, and challenge each other in ways only true partners can. Today, we're diving deep into the world of Mauricio and Kyle, not the Bravo edited version, but the unfiltered, real-life rhythm of their relationship. The unscripted beginning. Before Mauricio became the polished CEO of the agency and Kyle, the reigning queen of RHOBH, they were just two 20-somethings trying to make ends meet in Los Angeles. They met at a time when neither was famous. Kyle was a young mom and actress, and Mauricio, a real estate agent with big dreams, was just starting out. Kyle once said that what drew her to Mauricio wasn't his career, his looks, or even his ambition. It was his warmth, his genuine, grounded personality. He made me laugh, she recalled, and he made me feel safe. That combination, humor and comfort, became the foundation of everything they built together. In their early days, their lives were far from the glitz of Beverly Hills. Kyle had one daughter, Farah, from her previous marriage, and Mauricio instantly stepped in as a father figure. He didn't hesitate, didn't waver. When I met Kyle, he once said, I didn't just fall in love with her, I fell in love with her family. It was a declaration that shaped the next 25 years. When The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills premiered in 2010, Kyle and Mauricio's marriage quickly became fan favorites. Viewers adored how they teased each other, how Kyle would joke about his work obsession, and Mauricio would playfully roll his eyes when Kyle overpacked for a trip. They were, in a way, the most normal couple on reality TV. Amid all the diamonds and drama, they felt like real people navigating an extraordinary world. Mauricio wasn't just a house husband, he became a household name. His charm, his calm demeanor, his devotion to his daughters, it all made him stand out. Fans dubbed him the Bravo husband blueprint. And yet, what made their story captivating wasn't just their success. It was the quiet, unspoken partnership that seemed to anchor everything. When the cameras panned to Mauricio smiling in the background, while Kyle shared emotional moments with her castmates, or when Kyle gushed about how hard he worked, those glimpses spoke louder than any scripted storyline. SEGMENT3, Success, Styriesas, and Estiang Girayundidi. As Mauricio's real estate empire grew, with million-dollar listing Los Angeles and buying Beverly Hills, the couple's lives became busier than ever. The money was rolling in, but so was the pressure. And yet, even in the chaos, they found humor. Kyle often joked that Mauricio's mistress was the agency, his company, because he spent so much time nurturing it. Mauricio, never missing a beat, would respond with a grin, she's a very demanding mistress. Their dynamic was playful, yes, but there was truth in the joke. The balance between career, family, and fame was never easy. On one memorable RHOBH moment, Kyle confessed, we don't always get to have dinner together. Sometimes we pass each other in the hallway. And yet, she said it with a smile, because somehow they made it work. Mauricio was always quick to give credit to Kyle. She's the glue, he said. I could never have done this without her. It was that kind of mutual respect, the quiet acknowledgement of each other's sacrifices, that kept them connected even as the world watched for cracks. SEGMENT4, the camera never BLINKS. Reality TV has a way of magnifying everything, every sigh, every side eye, every late-night argument. For Kyle and Mauricio, the scrutiny only intensified as the seasons went on. There were whispers, speculations, and endless tabloid headlines. Did fame change them? Were they growing apart? But here's what's fascinating. Instead of letting the rumors define them, they often face them head-on, sometimes with humor, sometimes with silence. In one particularly memorable RHOBH episode, Kyle laughed off a gossip headline about Mauricio, joking, "If people aren't talking about you in Beverly Hills, you're doing something wrong." Mauricio's reaction? A grin and a shrug. "That's my wife," he said proudly. Still, there were moments of vulnerability too. Kyle once admitted, "When you're on TV, people think they know your marriage better than you do." That honesty resonated with fans, because beneath the diamonds and the designer gowns, there was a woman trying to protect the life she built, and a man trying to hold it steady. CGMENT5. Love in the small moments. For all the public drama, what defines Mauricio and Kyle's relationship are the small, untelevised moments. The morning coffee before the kids wake up. The text messages that simply say, "Proud of you." The quiet hand-holding on long drives home after filming. Kyle once said that her favorite part of the day is when she and Mauricio just sit in bed and talk about nothing. That's the heart of it, the simplicity behind the spectacle. Even now, when life has evolved and their relationship continues to be the subject of speculation, there's an undeniable affection that lingers in every interaction. Mauricio calls her love. Kyle still laughs the loudest at his jokes. And when she posts a photo of him on social media with a caption like, "Forever proud of you," fans feel it, the history, the shared years, the unspoken comfort of two people who've lived so much together. SEGMENT6. Navigating change and growth. Over the past few years, both Mauricio and Kyle have been open about growing, individually and as a couple. Their journey hasn't been without challenges. Distance, work, and evolving priorities have tested them. But growth doesn't always mean breaking apart. Sometimes it means learning to meet each other again as new versions of yourselves. Mauricio once reflected, "Marriage is like business. If you stop investing in it, it stops producing joy." And Kyle added, "You can love someone deeply and still have to figure things out. That's life. That's marriage." That kind of maturity, that raw admission, has made them one of Bravo's most compelling couples, not because they're perfect, but because they're real. SEGMENT7. The future written in trust. As of today, Mauricio continues to build his real estate empire, while Kyle has leaned back into her acting roots and wellness ventures. They've both evolved, but they haven't forgotten where they started, as two dreamers who believed in each other before the world knew their names. Even with all the fame, the fortune, and the fan speculation, their legacy is already set in stone. They built a family filled with love, raised 4 strong daughters, and taught them that relationships aren't about perfection, they're about perseverance. In one of her most heartfelt RHOBH confessionals, Kyle said quietly, "At the end of the day, Mauricio and I are a team. We've always been a team." It wasn't a soundbite, it was a truth. SEGMENT8. The closing moment, reality and romance. If you strip away the Bravo lights, the red carpets, and the luxury listings, what remains is simple. Two people who grew up together under the spotlight and somehow managed to keep their sense of humor, humility, and heart intact. When Kyle jokes on camera and Mauricio chuckles, shaking his head with that familiar grin, you can still see the same spark that started it all. They may have weathered storms, they may have changed, but what's undeniable is that their story continues, messy, funny, imperfect, and deeply human. And maybe that's why fans keep rooting for them, because their love story isn't about fairy tales or flawless endings. It's about showing up, day after day, even when life gets complicated. That's not just reality TV. That's real life. OUTRO, host voiceover. From newlyweds to parents, from red carpets to reality TV, Mauricio Umansky and Kyle Richards have given us a front row seat to a partnership that's as layered as it is lasting. They've laughed through chaos, supported each other through change, and proven that love, when built on friendship and respect, can stand the test of time and the Bravo cameras. And as we look ahead to the next chapter, whether it's another season, another project, or another quiet night at home, one thing's certain, their story is far from over. Because in Beverly Hills, even love gets a spotlight. E&D card TXT ONS. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. What's your favorite Mauricio and Kyle RHOBH moment?